Hi, friends. Hi, Corey. Don't feel bad. I just found out about this last week. But it's interesting to me. It's interesting. I'm kind of excited about it. So first of all, that's kind of a clickbait title. It is. It is an alternative non-build thing. Tag templates are neat. I'm having a look at it. It makes sense. What tag templates? What are we talking about? No, where is it? I lost my. Where? There it is. Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna get to that. We can get to that first. Actually, it doesn't really matter. But this is what I'm talking about. HTM. It's a cool little library that I was introduced to by Adam Zielinski, who is the brilliant mind behind WordPress Playground. Him and some other folks, of course. But yeah, so that's one thing. It's kind of neat. I don't really know where we should start. I kind of want to show some playground stuff first. So last week I didn't stream. I was at a meetup in Montreal with my Montreal team meetup, and I was there with my team, and Adam joined us. And Adam, like I just said, is the brilliant mind behind WordPress Playground, and we got to do some cool demo-y stuff. He showed us some cool things. I learned a lot about Playground. And I made some examples. Where's my thing here? So here's my interactivity. Here's my interactivity to-do app thing. So if you go there, there's a little link down here at the bottom where you can view the demo in WordPress Playground, which is so much fun because that's so easy to do. It just spins up an instance. It does this, and now I have my make Kevin pay. Other things that are essential. Yeah, so this is it. This is just a regular old doodaddy-roo here. Anyhow, so that's a really easy way of demoing some things. But I was doing some playing around with Playground, if you will. Where is my? You know what I don't like about GitHub and its links? At least I don't know how to do it. Is make that an external link. That's what I want to do. But if I look in blueprints, I've got a couple of blueprints set up, which may be better if I do it in here. Where's my to-do app? There it is. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull all this stuff down. Get out of here. Be gone. What did I do? Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna try. I'm just do a poll. Where am I? Oh, stupid. Sorry. Plugins to do. Okay, let's try that. Okay, cool. So if we look at my just ignore all of this. I'm doing some things with release stuff. You see that all right? Zoom in. All right. So if you look at the blueprints, I've got a couple of blueprints. So I started with this one. So the blueprint I'm doing here, it's fairly straightforward. A lot of this is just boilerplate. So this is the preferred version of PHP, the preferred WordPress version, which I'm setting to latest. And then this is extension bundles for PHP. This kitchen sink option is basically like all the standard stuff that you would want. So, but if you went to playground.net right here, the way I started building this was I basically just went to that site. And which I'm going to do now. And then there's a little option in here to edit the blueprint. Bam, we're going to click that. And this is sort of the default options here, right? I don't know if you can see that very well. Can I zoom it in? Right, so that's the default stuff. So basically this is going to it's going to get you logged in, and that's it. And so I started from there and I started adding some things. So I want to install a plugin. So I'm going to install this plugin. This was something that I'm doing. I was testing specifically being able to have a release and then be able to target that specific release. This is something that's sort of in the works. It's not quite ready for prime time, I don't think yet, but it's there. And then I was doing some cool things, because one thing I hate doing with Blueprint, it's not Blueprint's fault. I'm lazy. That's why I don't like doing it. But what I want to do is I don't want to do any work in Blueprint to generate this stuff. I want to basically be able to do it all in here. So what I did was I did some WP CLI steps. So the first step I did was option. I set an option, show on front with it added to page. And then my next step was to create a page using WP CLI. So WP post create, the post type is page. It should probably be lowercase. Seemed to work. I set no title because I didn't want the title to show up. I published it, and then I added some content just by inserting a single instance of this block in there, which is pretty cool. And then what I did is I ran some PHP code. Now this gets a little janky because you have to run it all in one line because it's JSON, right? So require once WordPress.load, or that just loads WordPress, and then I want to get the most recent post of type page. I only got one, and then I set the option of the page on front to the ID of the page that I just queried. So I did all that in one step, or not one step, but I did that all in here, and basically that gets you this, like this, right? Yeah, this is super cool. Now I do want to mention this though. It is slower to use WP CLI because, and that's something that we learned. So let me copy this URL and we'll paste it in here. And then what was the actual name of that file? To do MVC JSON. So I did one with CLI and one without CLI. So you'll notice that there's a slower. So when I load this, it's preparing WordPress. Now it's downloading. Okay, so that took that long. Now compare it to, if I can find the URL, compare it to this one, and it'll be, see, that was way faster, right? So keep that in mind when you're building out. Now we happen to be on a very slow network in Montreal. I mean, it was fine, but it's just there was 5 of us, 6 of us. We were doing all sorts of internety things as we're wont to do when we're working the internet, and it was significantly noticeable when you loaded CLI. So then I did the exact same thing without CLI, so we can show you that one. So we did it without CLI. So the steps are the same basically. So I log in, I'm installing the plugin. Now this can be done any way that you wanted to do it. I'm making a directory, right? Then I'm basically creating a plugin called MVC Setup. Then I'm doing a write file. So basically I'm going to take the contents of this, I'm going to create a plugin here. A file, I'm sorry, I'm not making sense. So I've created a directory called MVC Setup that'll live in the plugins directory. Then inside of that, I'm going to write a file called mvcsetup.php. And then the contents of that particular file are going to be stored in my setup.php file, which I have here, right? And then inside of this, I have a register activation hook. And this is actually a lot easier to do. It's all done on one step because I don't have to do any querying. I can just basically get the page ID and then set that up in there. So it's faster and it's easier to do in this context. Now, if you're doing a ton of stuff, it's probably going to be easier to do it in a register activation hook or in this way because this this step requires doing this, and it's a bit janky, right? A bit janky. It's just an awkward developer interface is what I'm getting at. Is where I'm getting with that. So all this stuff is available in the repo that I linked out there. So if you want to grab that stuff, you can grab that stuff. But these things make it just so easy. And then in your README, I'm just doing a link to WordPress, to playground.wordpress.net, and then I'm passing the blueprint URL query param, and then passing the URL to my particular blueprint that's sitting in here. Just keep in mind when you get the URL, you have to use the raw URL or it will not work. So if I go in here and I want this one, I got to click that old raw button, and then it's going to give me raw.githubusercontent.com/path to your thing, and then that will work. Yeah. Some things don't work yet. There is a proxy that I'm aware of that I'm not going to share. You can probably find it in, well, you'll be able to find it in the URL, but it's not officially owned by Automatic. Or sorry, it's not, of course it's not owned by Automatic. I think it's an Automatic thing, but it needs to be open sourced and put out into the world to be used. So it's not quite there yet. But anyhow, you didn't hear it from me. So that's kind of some of the cool stuff. Now there's another, Adam was showing us some really cool demos. One in particular that I want to show you is he has this workflow, and it's so neat, where so he's got this documentation site for the docs for Playground. It's not, I mean, it's not finalized. Part of what we were meeting with him about was like, how can we improve these and make these better? But his workflow, he's got this workflow set up through Playground that just blew us all away. So basically, there's an edit in the documentation button. So when you click this button in that repo, it's going to ask you to connect to your GitHub account. Now, I've already done that behind the scenes. But what it allows you to do is load all that content into WordPress. I'm going to wait for that to load. And the content's all stored in here. And it's stored as Markdown. So HTML pages, right? So this is like, this is all, it's all, I guess it's blocks. Where is it stored? Yeah, so it's stored in here, right? As it's not Markdown, it's blocks, right? So this is all in here. It's been versioned, and now what we can do is we can come in here and say, okay, let's edit the developer APIs page, and we're gonna add. I'm going to do that. Is there nothing in here? Maybe there's nothing in there. Test. Right, and then I hit save. And then what I can do is I can go with this, and I can export pull request to GitHub, and it's going to pop up this entire thing, and it's going to create a pull request against that repository that he can then merge, and then it's part of the docs that's built out. It's like amazing. It was like blew my mind. There was a lot of plumbing involved here, because there's plugins that bridge the gap between importing all that sort of. P. Georgiev, hello. But yeah, this is super cool. So there's some really, really cool, powerful things that is possible with Playground. So I'm not going to create this pull request because I don't want to inundate Adam with a million pull requests, but you would click that button and it would create a pull request for you. So isn't that cool? And then it just goes away. So you don't have to set anything up. You can download all, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. What else? Oh, there's a block, the Playground block that we can now sort of support JSX compilation in the block. So currently, if we were going to our here, I have my thing set up here. If we were going here, add a new post, and let's just set this one up. Let's go Playground block. All right, and I think I'm probably gonna have to download that. We'll publish this. Go to my plugins. I'm gonna go into plugin. It's gonna be what, Playground. If you're not using this thing, you should use this thing. It's pretty cool. WordPress Playground. There it is, right there. Install. We're gonna activate. It supports some pretty cool stuff. Now it supports external files, so being able to link to a file in your so let me show you that. So we're gonna go in here. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go Playground. Spell it right. Replace Playground. Activate live preview. So over here on the side, the blueprint, we can create files. So if we have a code editor, for example, mass mutter. Hello. Hi. Oh, this doesn't work on my local site because it needs to be HTTPS. Bummer. Okay. It does work, but what you can do is you can actually have it support external files, right? So if I wanted to load in a file from, let's see, where do I have, let's open up my, not that tab, not that tab, not that tab, not that tab, that tab. If I wanted to say have it load this, one of these things, I could say, okay, give me this file, give me the raw version of that, right? And then we're gonna plunk it in, then we'll, I can close this. I can close this. I can plunk this in here and call it file, right? So now it's pulled all that in. Oh, I probably need to put like a little remove thing. So like file.js, right? Whatever we want to call that. See, and it gets the formatting and everything. So now what this allows you to do is build out examples that are editable, right? You can edit this all you want, but when you hit update and then I refresh this, when I reload this, that file doesn't get updated. It's just it's stored there. So as you can see, this would be a really cool way of like building out like live coding demos that people can play with, but then aren't messed with, right? And they can be hosted in GitHub, which is really handy because then your code's all in one place, right? And there's this little option, which I don't know if you can see it because my big stupid face is in the way, but transpile to JSX. So what this will allow us to, transpile JSX. So there's no build process inside the playground block right now. But what we can do is we can transpile JSX, which is super neat. Now there's a bunch of setup steps for that. And I've got here we go. This is the pull request to do that. So it requires setting up some dealios, right? Insert the playground block, recreate this code example in the editor, apply the blueprint below, confirm the block. Okay, so we can do this. This isn't going to work. This is not going to work locally. Is it going to work locally? Oh, the live preview won't work. Yeah. Okay, so maybe I can do it with WP now. Stand by. Oh, I hate this. Okay. I think I have it set up on my site, which I'm gonna log into. For here, so you jokers can't catch my, you know what I'm talking about. Steal my credentials. Here. Is this the post that I did? That is not the post that I did. I have it somewhere. Maybe it's in my... Oh, of course. Maybe it's in my Block Developer Cookbook site. Maybe that's where I put it. Again, y'all a bunch of stealers. I don't know what I'm saying. Not on my own site. Okay, let's get back over here. I think I did it on here. I was trying to put this. I ran into the same issue somewhere else, and I think that this was the image, the issue that I was running into. Let's see. Is it in here? There it is. Okay, cool. So this is sort of the same idea. So which one is this? Is this the one that has this one? Okay, so this. Oh yeah, and my theme's breaking it. So lots of stuff. Hey Kev. Oh, Kev's here. Kev Marino's here. All right, so let's try to reproduce this. So what we want to do is, this is the blueprint that I need. So you can what we can do is we can take this one and we can put the this one. Don't sound too disappointed. Oh, Kevin. Ugh. Ugh. All right, so let's go in here. I'm gonna paste my blueprint in. We're gonna go paste JSON below. So I'm pasting this ridiculous thing in here. I'm gonna activate that thing. See what happens. Okay, well that seems to work. So basically what it's going to allow... Oh, so there's a lot of work. I don't want to set all this up. I'm being lazy today. But basically, it'll support JSX. But we got... Adam and I got into a really great conversation around build processes and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people that don't like them. A lot of people that don't like build processes. I don't know. Like on this call, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll right now. I'm going to just get my Twitch channel up, which will completely get us... Oh, Inception. Hold on. Create a dashboard. I'm live. Create a dashboard. Where's my tools? Let me get my tools up here. We're going to do manage a poll. Create a new poll. I like build... build process. Love it. Hate it. Don't care. And then finally ask Kevin. Ask Jevin. Ask Kevin. Okay, we're gonna let this run for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna start poll. There's like 7 people watching, so we don't really need to have it watch for that long. But let's see. View results. Okay, we're just gonna keep that up. We're just gonna move it over here. So start voting, people. I want to know. I want to know how you feel about stuff. Ah, the 10-up toolkit. I'm familiar with that thing. A little bit. Anyways, we're gonna let that run. I'm moving this out of the way. Let me be clear. I will be victorious. What's the problem? What are you running into? What issues are you having, my friend? Lay it on me, brother. 10-up toolkit. Let's look at that. 10-up toolkit. Now, I worked on the 10-up code toolkit when I was working at 10-up, but that was a long time ago, so I'm sure it's all changed. Are we talking about this particular stuff? TypeScript support. I want more post CSS plugins and also dealing with how they interact with each other. Well, if I remember correctly, the build stuff, are they still using the build processes for that? Like there was a what is this thing? It was very, very similar to the scripts package, if I remember right. Hey, the Lup, how's it going? Good to see you. Oh, somebody voted that they hate it, and I'd be interested to hear more about that. Because, well, there's only 9 people watching, and only 4 of you have voted. So what's the holdup? Vote, man. Or woman, whomever. Anyways, post CSS. Okay, HTML fast refresh. Yeah, hot module. I think this under the hood is doing a lot of stuff like that. You just landed. You just landed from where? Where were you going? So far, he just doesn't seem to want to count me out. Count you out of the vote, or count you out of what? What are we counting you out of? Oh, it's not. Well, Kevin, you're not going to be in this thing, but some people just don't want to deal with it. They don't want to have to install. They don't want to have to run it. They just don't want to have to do it. That's a big one. I personally enjoy a build process. I like me a good build process because I find that some of the things that the build process provides make your life easier. Specifically, they should not use it. Yeah, they don't have to use it. That's not. It's the argument against a build process is not like build processes are horrible, you shouldn't use it. It says people don't want, right? They don't want that. They don't want the overhead of having to build. They don't want overhead of having their source directory and their build directory be 2 different things. right? There's a lot. Now, there's a lot of gains from it, in my opinion. Like, for example, being able to use JSX, which JSX is very pretty to look at. It's very easy to look at. It's very easy to read. It's easy to grok. It's very, very, I love it personally. This is my personal opinion. But it does require a build process. Cry you a river. Yeah, well, Kev, you just go and keep on using your build process. I don't consider you to be the standard WordPress user, and I mean that with love and respect, because you live in a world of advanced JavaScript, and everything you work on is pretty advanced JavaScripty, right? You do work in the WordPress environment. I don't mean any shade by that, but I would not expect you to say, hey, I don't like this. But somebody who's been working in WordPress for 15 years and has never had to... Well, that's an interesting conversation. Let me finish my thought, Mass, and then I want to unpack that a bit. Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. I think it's adding. It's the extra thing. It's the extra thing that I want to do. Like, pre Gutenberg, pre JavaScript. Like, learn JavaScript deeply. You put a piece of PHP in there, you refresh the page, and it was done. Right? It was quick, easy. There was no dependencies. Like, Composer wasn't even really heavily used unless you were working on pretty big projects, right? And it's JS. Oh, really? So yeah, so I mean, like, people don't want to mess with it, right? There's something to be said about having a 4 GB node modules folder, right? There's something to be said about all that overhead that comes with the build process. Now, but it does allow us to do like imports really easily. It does allow us to use advanced JavaScript features, but for the most part, JavaScript is pretty well supported across all things now. The big one for me personally is JSX. The handiness of having, like, specifically with the scripts package and in WordPress, being able to compile Sass out of the box, post CSS, I'm pretty sure is supported out of the box, all that sort of stuff. Like, it just works, right? And it's so integrated with block building that it's really, it's almost a no-brainer. Like, things just all worked together, right? But if you don't like that, that's cool too. That's why I was going to talk about HTM, this new library. It's not this library that I just learned about, which I'm sure Kevin wrote. But yeah, what's he saying? At the end of the day, a simple product thing can have easy process with simple things like plain. Yeah. But if you work on complex products, you want interactive interfaces, no page reloads. No page reloads, except you need to put some work into learning Webpack. Yes, that is true, but you can still build. Like, there is a way to build things without a build process, and they can still be interactive. They can still be reactive, and declarative. Is declarative the word I'm looking for? I think that's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, like, I think it's possible, but you have to, like, change your approach a little bit, right? Mass Mutter said, I like build processes. The argument I have against them is when I need to add blocks to an existing product or project. I would love to hear more about that. Are you talking about when, like, revisiting an old project? Like, where that may have used something other, like I'm sure we've all been there, but at one point Grunt was the thing, and then, Bower was the thing, and then it was, what was the other, what was after that? There was something before Webpack, I can't remember now, but there was, like, Grunt, Bower, and I can't remember what else. There's a whole bunch of them. And every time you go back to an old project, you're like, oh, now my build process, I have to gulp, that's it. Is that what you're talking about, Mass? About like having to go back and fight with an old build process that doesn't work with the new build process? Is that what you're sort of meaning? Because yeah, I think Webpack came pretty early with. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is the thing. That's kind of the. But I mean, on the flip side of that, in the world of JavaScript, I feel like something written five years ago is going to be wildly out of date anyways. Maybe not even JavaScript, but I don't know. like CoffeeScript. I remember I worked on time.com and it was built in CoffeeScript. So I had to like learn CoffeeScript, and then and it's just like this whole thing. Backbone.js, Backbone.js was huge. It was a huge framework in the WordPress community. And then, now it's not. Still out there, but it's, anyways. So I wanted to look at, all right. Was there another question? Was there another question? So anyways, one of the conversations, you're right, does Euclid, yeah, I've made peace with the, still there in the customizer. Oh yeah, it is in the customizer. So the poll looks, let's see what the vote breakdown is. So the poll looks like 60% of you love build process, 20% hate it, and 20% don't care. Those who hate it, I would love to hear why you hate it. And I assume those who don't care just don't have a strong opinion one way or the other, or you don't use it, maybe. But if there's anything that you'd like to share about that stuff, I'd love to hear it. I also love to hear why you like build processes, but I think we kind of already discussed that a little bit. All right, so let's look at HTM. So this is a library that Adam Zielinski mentioned to me as an alternative to JSX. One of my big points in our conversation when Adam and I were coming back from lunch one day, and we had a really great conversation on like why a build process is a good thing. And one of my concerns is that JSX, you need a build process for JSX because that's not a real thing. So every example that is out there in the world for WordPress code, for the most part, is going to be oh yeah, no, that's an excellent point, Kevin. No, yeah, like no one is saying, I don't think there's a conversation around like we need to get rid of the build process. I think it's about providing the alternative for folks that want to go that way. That's what I think it is. And that's my approach to it, because our build process, it's used in Gutenberg, it's going to be used in block development. It's a thing, and people love it. A lot of people love it. For those that don't, I think it's about providing our project, the WordPress project, maybe making some recommendations on how they can still have a good experience. So that's kind of my job, right? So like how we can have a good experience working with blocks without a build process, if that's even possible, right? I think it's about meeting people where they're at. I think a lot of people are still struggling with getting up to speed with all of that. I don't think it's I think it's a gateway drug, if you will, like not having a build process, but getting them into the concepts of like JSX and having it look like that and learning that stuff. And then all of a sudden being like, oh, let's just try the build process and maybe I'll like that better. Like, I don't think it's not a Boolean use it or don't. There's a lot of subtleties in there, right? And so coming up with tooling for folks that don't want to go there yet, or maybe can't go there yet, like, so here's an example. Someone from, I think it was Boston University, reached out to me, and they have 40,000 sites, some crazy number of websites across their network. And for them, moving to a build process is not just that simple, right? Or doing anything, build process alone, anything is not that simple. So it's about being able to the baby steps approach. That's kind of how I look at it, right? But yeah, so I've never used this library, so I'm gonna try to see how it works. But it looks like it's pretty straightforward. If you understand JavaScript, like this would sort of make sense, right? So yeah, I think you're right, Kev. I think there is the JS purists would hate it for a different reason than the others. And the others are the ones that we're sort of looking at, because our others are PHP developers that have been writing PHP for 15 years and are top of the game in WordPress, and now all of a sudden JavaScript is king and it's a lot harder to get up to speed, right? Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, Carolina, that is a really good point. We need more Windows and Linux folks contributing, right? That's a really good point. I mean, like I think a lot of the documentation assumes, you know, that you're on a Mac, which isn't always the case, right? The closest thing that PHP has to a build process, I think, Kev, would be like Composer, where you would like in the autoloader, that would be the closest thing. I think. I don't know. I'm not like, maybe Laravel's got something that I'm not aware of. Like there's Laravel Herd and there's Laravel Mix. Is that right? But that's not for PHP. I think that's just a way of bundling stuff. Linters, yeah. So PHP CBF is the code beautifier. It will run and it will fix errors for you. But there's nothing that like transpiles. Like, you know, you take a .ts file and turn it into a JS file or any of that sort of stuff. I don't think there's anything in PHP land that's doing that. Also, hi Caroline, I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back to the stream. Good to chat with you. All right, so let's see what we can do with this. I'm gonna get over here. I'm gonna switch over to my Twitch streams, and we're gonna see what we can do. I'm gonna try to do a simple block. CD plugins, and we're gonna go npx. I'm gonna use a build process to move away from my build process. So this is going to be the HTML. Oh my God, come on, HTML. No build, and I'm gonna just make it namespace. Space is going to be Twitch streams, and we're just going to do that. Well, that builds, a couple of things I wanted to mention. There is a developer hours coming up in June 11th, about synced pattern overrides that I will be hosting, and well, with Nick will be presenting. I'll just be there to, you know, lend some boyish good looks and witty charm to the to the proceedings, but yeah, you should come check that out. Sign up there, go in there, sign up. There's 21 people already hanging out there, so come hang out. Nick really does great presentations. He really knows what he's doing, but you should come check that out. Yeah, that is true, Kevin. Oh, look at this, that thing needs to stop. All right, I'm gonna close down some of my Playground tabs. If anyone has questions about Playground specifically, please reach out. I'd really love to see some really cool examples of the block. I'm trying to work in the block into my block developer cookbook site, so we can do it right on this end. Yeah, I did make Kevin pay. You weren't here, so I felt like I could make fun of you a little bit. Oh, Kev, we all love you here at the stream. CD, what is it? HTML no build. Okay, so let's get looking at that. So there is HTML no build. Okay. So let's see. So in here, so it's gonna all have to probably be a single file. Oh yeah, that's a really cool thing. Being able to test those previews is awesome, and it's pretty easy to do. All you have to do is point it to a pull request. It's pretty straightforward. Let me see what my plugins are here. God, I'm getting to have a lot of plugins in here, and now I have to learn the alphabet again. There we go. So we're gonna activate that. I'm gonna come in here and post. I'll post. So this is gonna be add new. This will be HTML package. All right, and this is going to be the HTML no build. Okay, so I'm going to hit save, publish this. Okay, so what I need to do is I want to be able to get rid of the build directory. So I'm going to delete the build directory, which of course is going to make this completely fail. Right, that's fine. That's okay. I don't care. And then my block. Oops. Probably should have done that. Is it still in my trash? Let's see. It is. I'm going to go ahead and put that back. what I need out of there is the block JSON. That's what I need out of there. And I'm going to put it in source. Oh, it's already in there. I'm a dope. Okay, cancel. Never mind. Never mind, friends. So block JSON is here. So what I have to do, the first thing I have to do is in here is I'm going to take it out of build. I'm going to have it look at source. Right? So this should now load the block JSON. Now this is not going to work. I should be getting a bunch of errors, I imagine. Console errors. Okay, cannot use import the site out of a module. That's cool. So there's two ways around this. So Adam actually has this really helpful little plugin that modularizes all of the packages. And it is in here. It is in WordPress ES modules plugin. And I'm going to just drop it in to my, where'd it go? Hello. That's what I want. I'm just going to put it right in the plugins directory and then we'll take a look at it. No, come on. In plugins. Drop it in plugins. Where'd that go? Did that get moved over there? I don't think it did. Okay. We're going to, oh, cancel, it's already in there. Okay, so, oh, it's WordPress. See, where'd that go? Okay, so down here at the bottom. So we can look at this. Source, index. Oh, why did I do it that way? That's ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna just pull the source out of here, put it in there, and then delete this. So if we look at this, it's just doing a bunch of stuff. All this is gonna do is, I don't know what this is doing, but this is basically just exporting everything from the window. So we're just going to do it that way. So I should just be able to enable this, and hopefully, I haven't tested this. Nothing like doing a demo live. Nothing like it. We're going to see. Oh, that's not the one I want. There we go. So we'll go back to plugins and scroll on the bottom. I should have. What is this thing called? Playground ES module support. So there we go. We'll activate that. With little luck, nothing's broken. Okay, so this probably won't change anything. So we can't import from here. Can we not? Why can't we import from there? Is it not being queued properly? Oh, okay. Is it a mid menu in here? Well, this is fun. I don't even know how this is working. Okay, well, we could probably, okay, where is this? Test this module. Index, so that's being loaded. Let's see, register script VS module. Q script, the init. Is this working? I don't know if this is working. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely working. But I'm not seeing this admin page that it's talking about. Where is that happening, man? There's no... Supposed to be adding an admin menu. Sorry. What's going on here? So, all right, let's see. Alright, well, this shouldn't be doing anything. Is this working the front end? Let's look. Okay, so that is working, doing it that way. But okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna not worry about that right now. So because the issues that we're running into is that all of these things need to be different. So we need to go const. We need to turn right like this. Equals WP blocks. Right, so we shouldn't have to worry. And then I don't know if any of the imports are going to work on that. Cannot use import statements outside of a module. So where am I seeing? Is there another? Oh, that's why. Okay, we're still getting that error. Ooh. Maybe I should keep the build process for that, but not use JSX. What do we think of that? We don't want that because all of this stuff all has to be in a single file, I think. So it's definitely a little bit fun. Like none of this is gonna work, right? So my edit, I'm gonna make this a function. I'm gonna get this working just like without the build. Okay, and this is just going to be whatever my block.json is. I'm going to steal the name, which is here. Right. I'm trying to use this library called HTM to not have to use so I don't have to use JSX. Because if we can because if we're not using JSX, then that's something that we don't need a build process for. Then it's possible that we can move away from a build process. It's possible, you know. So let me see some like examples here. Import HTML component. So let's just see. So is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? Let's go back over here. The deuce, get out of here. Okay, so temp recovery. Okay, so that's sort of working. So the edit is going to need. So now, how do I add? God, how do I add HTML to what I'm doing here? So I just need to install it, I assume. But I don't want to do that because I don't want to have a build process. So if I render.html. So do I need to build them as components? I guess I need to build them as components, but I don't. So I guess, do I need to build, I guess I need to build each one of these things out as a component like this. Maybe I'm not understanding this correctly. Like if I just put in an example, I have a little example sitting here that Adam put together. Like, not that. Should be like this. Oh, I see what he's doing. Okay. So I need to pull something like this. Okay, so we're gonna import, but imports don't work. All right, I'm going in circles. Okay. So import is outside of a module. So does that means I need to make this a module? I need to enqueue this as a module? All right, let's look at a different way of maybe doing that. There's no transpiler needed. Yeah, but it's all being like enqueued behind the scenes. So I'm probably gonna have to enqueue this manually. I don't think there's a way of. Source dependencies, version, arg, strategy, and footer. Oh. Well, we might be dead in the water a little bit here. I should have probably done a bit more research getting into this. I don't think there's a filter to enqueue it. Oh, you know what? Stand by. The interactivity API does something with that. Reads WP. Well, how the hell is the interactivity API doing this? Use module script in front. Okay, so there are some functions in here that there should be in core now that are called what? Mm-hmm. Oh, register interactivity module, is that what it's called? I don't have all of this in here. Oh, there it is. Okay. WP register script module. Okay, so these are the modules that I'm going to need. So if I do that, I should be able to do it with this. Wouldn't you think? I think so. Let's find out. What? Where am I? Beyond. Get out of here. Content, plugins. Show the build. So if I put this in here, and I do this, I don't even know what this means. You can't see half my screen. Hold on. That's this. Script modules string. So the ID is the source and the dependencies. Okay. So this is going to be call this HTM, and then index. I'm going to pull it in from here, and we'll just see how this works. I don't know if it's going to work. So this shouldn't cause errors. I really don't know what this is going to do, but we'll find out shortly. Where'd it go here? Ooh. Oh. Does it need to be, so what does source need to be? Oh, really? Can't be an external link. Full URL of the script module or path of the script module relative to the WordPress root directory. If is provided and the script module will not be registered, it will be registered. Well, that's not helpful. DQ the block script. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. And it's going to be this will be index, no, source. So I should be able to just do this. Oh, wait a minute. What's it trying to load here? Getting a lot of weird errors here. Is this actually the error? Is this actually causing this thing? No. What the hell else is causing this error? Okay. It's trying to load the interactivity API, but it's not loading the interactivity API. Okay. What? What is happening here? This shouldn't be doing anything. All right, let's see. Let's see in here. WP plugin. Let's just see. So I want to deactivate all. Deactivate. Did I move this or something? It's funny because I have literally no idea why this is failing. Like, none. What the crap is going on here? None of this stuff is... there should be nothing... Okay, let's try this again. I don't know why that's failing. It's weird. So this is going to be my HTML. Oh, right. Okay. So it's not actually registering. So if I do this, is this going to fail? Nope. Okay. So I just register the block type now. Make sure this is all working. I don't know what's happening. Oh, come on, Ryan. Smarten up. Come on. I didn't have my thing activated. My since after off the screen. Okay, let's try this again. This is just a whole bunch of ridiculousness not working. HT. Source. Block JSON. No, hold on. Did this fail to register because of JavaScript errors? I think that looks like it might be it. WP is not defined. Okay. We're getting closer. We are getting closer. So I got an error there. So what does this do? Sources. Okay, it's just not being enqueued. And the reason it's not being enqueued is I think this path is incorrect. So the source needs to be full source of the URL module or path to the WordPress relative to the WordPress root directory. All right, let's. Does this return something? Let's just say, does it actually return? It doesn't like it. Let's see some examples here. All right, so what's that? Okay, so this should be correct. Should this not be correct? There's 2 in there. Maybe that's part of the problem. Oops. Okay, let's try that then. Get that out of there. Get this out of there. And I can't get it to load. It just does not want to load. Does this work? This should work. Yeah, that's loading it. Okay, source. Oh, it's probably this one. That's it. Yeah, that's probably what it is because I'm a dope. So if I get rid of that, still doesn't like it. Huh. Well, I don't know what to say. This is a bit frustrating. I can't do this. So I need to think. I think I really need to put a lot more time and effort into this. Maybe talk to somebody a lot smarter than me to figure this out. Because this should be how we enqueue a script module. But I don't know why it's not actually running. Like... Maybe I have it named weird. Of course it happened. I guess I could just like... Okay, this feels like it's an exercise in futility a little bit. I think what I have to do, like, in order to do this, I'm gonna have to like add action, right? Foot, the footer. VP footer, right, which should basically allow me to output something into the footer, right? So I should be able to go like, and I want to register like a script tag, right? The type's gonna be module, and then just pass to the source, I guess. I'll be able to do something like this. Something like that. I think that's what I'll have to do. Why is this thing yelling at me? Like, I think that's right. Yeah. You shut your face. Let's see if that works. Oh, WP probably won't be called in the back end. Probably the front end though. Expect sources, content, build no source is this thing, and then there's this thing. So they're both being enqueued on the back end. Okay, so if I get rid of this, and then what is it? Block editor assets, I guess. We're gonna do the admin footer, is it? Add action admin. Is there an admin footer? Admin footer. Oops. Let's try that. Do the same thing. I don't really know how this is gonna play. This might just not work at all. But I think that's what I have to do. Is I think I have to have that in queued like that. What? Broke something. Oh, because I need that. All right. Something like this. Like this. That looks a little better. There we go. So this should be okay. HT. I think it's running too late. It's in there, but I don't think it's actually working. The blocks, oh, must have a title. No, have a title? Oh, duh. So it is working. Hold on. So in here, I'm going to need to do index. I need to put some stuff in here and call it title HTML build. Let's update this. I think we're getting somewhere. Ha! There we go. All right, we're getting closer. I don't like this approach in any way, shape, or form, but we'll get there. This is a good starting point. Let's have some fun here. Is that block? Okay, so this is going to do that. So that works. Okay, cool. So let's update this. I have that block in place. HTML no build. All right. Now that's cool. So now let's. If that's working correctly, shouldn't I be able to do the import like I was doing before? I should be able to use imports from here, right? I should be able to say this thing, import HTML, right? I should be able to do that. Boom, boom. I mean, let's see. I don't even know. I don't even know. Didn't get an error. Didn't get an error, which means I should also be able to go import register block type from WordPress blocks and oop. Oh, okay, so we don't have the mapping for that. That's fine. I'm not gonna mess with that right now because we need that import mapping plugin, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do this right now. That's what I'm gonna do right now. So that works. Okay, so now let's get in here. And let's look at putting some bit, I'm so excited now. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to pull in component, I guess, right? So I think we need component in here. So let's get this out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. So I'm going to need to so big is the best example. So I'm going to need to do this. I'm going to grab these three. Okay. And so now the example should be, where was that really simple example that Adam had? I think it's like right here. So return HTML. Let's try that. So then in here, Oh yeah, I forgot about the block props. Let me look at the block props. Blah 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 blah. Edit. So block props is where? From in here. Oops. In here. Like this. I should be able to come in here, and I should be able, I need to get. This drives me nuts. All this stuff. It all needs to go away. It all needs to go away. Something like this. So I can't use imports for that stuff. I'm going to use it from WP block. I guess it's. Is it block editor? WP dot block editor. Okay, and use block props. It's like I don't remember how it works now. So I should be able. Should I be able to do it this way? Does that work? That's weird syntax. Maybe I have to do it like this. Let's just see. I go const block prop. Nope. Block props equals use block props. Okay, so this is I hope this is gonna work. Okay, so let's jump back over here. Jump back over here. Does not provide an export name component. Well, that doesn't seem very great. So, oh wait a minute. I think I'm using the wrong import. Oh, stand by. Stand by. I think that's me doing that wrong. HTML. No. Oh. Is that the one I want? I don't really know what I'm doing. We'll find out. So let's see. Oh, ooh, that's okay. That's an okay error. That means that I need to get my WordPress on. What am I saying? wp.18n. Okay, so that equals. Okay. So I'm gonna move this stuff. I hate this. Okay, I'm gonna organize this a little bit. 1 second. WordPress dependencies. That, and then above that I do external dependencies, and I put my import there and there and there. Okay, so now cool, awesome. Refresh, please work. Ooh. Minified React error. Interesting. Maybe I have to extend. I think I might have to do something like this. Let's see. So it says it doesn't. So this is supposed to be the working example. Come on. Okay. We're getting there. Do that. No, is this the one that yelled at me and said that it doesn't export something? I think what I need to do is create. Okay, I'm gonna create a little. This is gonna be my edit function. So it's gonna be class edit extends component. All right. So then and then I'm gonna put that in there. And then like this. And then I should be able just to do this. that work? Oh, maybe I don't even need to do that. I don't know. Let's see what happens there. Class structure cannot be invoked without new. Okay, so I can't just do it that simply, it looks like. So this header, so that's how you use the component. So maybe I need to wrap it, maybe I need to do it like this. How are they doing it like this? What the hell is that? Dollar sign? It's a weird looking dollar sign. Something like that? Is that how they did that? Something like that. Yeah, that's exactly how they did that. Why is it yelling at me? I think, yeah, let's see. Unexpected token. Oh. Oh God, why does this happen every single time? So unexpected token. Okay, so I think what I need to do is wrap it in a render. Do I need to wrap it in a render? Why would I need to wrap it inside of a render? Footer. Maybe that's all. Maybe that's what I have to do. Oh, that looks right. So this would be, we go like pro. Okay. Let's try something like this. Wait, is HTML being expanded? Yes. Okay. But then no. Then this will be not that at all. This will be edit. Edit. Okay, let's see. No, not there. What the deuce? Come on. Something's not right here. Do I need to? Something's not right here. There's gotta be something I'm not connecting here. So like this is a standalone app, but that's not really what I'm looking for. Like I think I need to do something a little bit different. Like React on issue, React on render. Okay, so Hey Monty Logic, how's it going? HTM is a library that is supposed to be basically a non-transpiled version of JSX sort of thing. But and I think it does work, but I think I'm running into issues where this is expecting certain things to happen in a certain way, and I don't know Maybe I need to do something like this. Let's try something like this. I'm just making it up as I go along. That's what I'm doing. Like this. I don't think that's gonna work. I just don't think, because I don't have that anymore. So I think what I need to do is put this in here. That's an implicit return. And this is broken. Let's see. Oh my God. Just worked. Just worked, man. It's awesome. That looks horrible, but I'm gonna format that a little better. So then in my save, what does my save look like? So my save should be able to look very similar, like this, right? And then in here, in my save, I need a function, right? That returns that, but I'm gonna change it to wrap HTML. Basically, you're just gonna replace. I'm starting to see a bit of a pattern here, and I don't think I need that anymore. Should just be able to do that. Okay, so does that doesn't look right. Because that's a backtick. Okay, so let's see. So now this is here, right? Oh, no, that's fine. Temp recovery. Okay, update. So if I look at this now, boop, boop. Holy crap, we did it! We did it! That's totally expected. Okay, so now that there's not much going on here, but this is a no build version of basically the default block that we need. So HTML. Okay, so that's I think all we need. So this is so this is the thing that we need to bind that. So we'll do this like down here, I guess, basically. No, I'll just do it right. So I think what was happening was we need to connect React create element, which is all this is using under the hood, to the HTML. We need to bind that stuff together. So that seems pretty cool. So now can we use, like, what happens if we start using other components? I'm super duper excited about this. So we really don't, so we don't have block JSON anymore, which is a little bit of a bummer, but maybe we can still use it. It'd be really nice if there was, so we can't use any of that. So block JSON kind of is where things fall apart a little bit, because our editor script needs to be a module. Interesting. Okay. So, and this I don't like. It'll work, but I don't like it. This is not a good way of doing this. I'm not super happy with this. But until we have a means of enqueuing a module effectively through block JSON, that's not a view script module, I don't know how else to do it really, and make sure it's everywhere it needs to be. So if I go like icon, I should be able to go smiley. This should work. Should change the icon for this. Yeah. Okay. So now we're doing everything in here. That's super neat. Now my next question is, because it's a module, can we do, what did we have in here before? We had, can we import like, Well, that's not going to work. But we're going to import like name from block JSON. If I want to pull name, no, I want to pull meta. Sorry. If I do this, import meta from, not from there, block JSON. I don't think this will work. I don't know if that'll work. Yeah. Okay, so that's not working. So you can't import that, which is a bit of a bummer. So what you could do though is there's no other really way of doing it. Like you'd need, yeah. So we need to put all of our values from in here, like all of these things, category, icon, description, example, all that sort of stuff. We need to put that all into our index right here, which is really easy to do when you have an auto formatter. So that's pretty cool. Now we should be able to get this. Yeah, so we have all that, so we can put our supports and stuff in. That's pretty neat. Now let's see about using like a component. Like, so the first thing that I would want to do is I would want to make that thing editable. So I want to use, I think it's actually rich text is in here. No, it's not. Sorry, it's in block editor. So we use rich text. Right. Is it in there? Let's see. Import. Yeah, rich text. Okay, so now if I have rich text in here and I wrap this, I change this to rich text, this to rich text, but I have to do it a different way. I have to do this. Do I not? Let's see. I don't. So how do the closing tags work in this? So there's components. Okay, so I think I just do it this way. I think I do that, right? And then I set, so rich text has got that, but then there's also value and the value. So this is gonna get attributes, right? And so we're gonna say const message equals attributes. So that means in our block, no, in our edit.js up here, we're gonna need to add attributes. And let's just do that. And we're just gonna do this. Oh, you know what? We're gonna leave that in there. So this is gonna be message. And then actually this is a self-closing one, so we don't even need this one. Should just be able to do that. There we go, tag name equals P. Okay, so let's just see if this works. I set a default by default value here. So hopefully this shows a rich text field with a value of message and whatever the default value is. There we go. Okay. Is it same error? Oh, I wonder if that's it. Okay, so that's working. Awesome, so cool. All right, so I'm gonna try to space this out slightly so we can see it in a better. Oh, that's just gross. This is not good at all. Can I do that? This is yelling at me, but I'm wondering if it's fine. It's just, no, this is broken. Okay. Okay, so I can't multi-line that. So that's immediately annoying. There are some extensions for this that maybe are worth taking a look at. Where'd it go? Is this one? Syntax highlighting inline HTML blocks, IntelliSense racial. Okay, so maybe that's something that would be worth looking at. Oh, well, that's nice. Oh, I think I'm just doing this wrong. I think that'll work, right? Wait, no, it won't, because I just broke it. Because there's 3 of those, not just 1 of those. There we go. So something like this. Let's make sure that works. Okay. Oh, because I forgot to do that. Okay, sorry. Yeah, thanks, Stefan Mate. Hey, are you new to the stream? Welcome. Thanks for hanging out. So that seems to work. Okay, so that is the default value is not really getting set there. So I'm just going to return. Okay. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to replace this, and it's going to be rich text.content, and it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be this and this. This is how we do it. I'm gonna put this in here like this. I'm gonna get rid of that, and then this should allow me to put this in here. Should probably get. All right, because I don't have it on change function. That's okay. So on change is gonna be. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm gonna put it on here, set attributes, message. Not new, haven't opened Twitch in a while. Oh, well. Hey, sorry. Glad you're here. Either way, thanks for hanging out. Oh, updating failed. That work. What's the critical error on this website? Oh, that's the critical error. Oh. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's get back in here. Sorry, I apologize. I gotta I gotta figure out why WP Now is dying on me all the time. So this is the new content, and I should be able to update that, and I should be able to look at that, and I should see this is the new content. Okay, cool. So this is a working block. This is straight up working. So what I would love to see, and I'm sure this is possible, we don't have import mapping, I guess, right? Because so this is no build process, no module. This is being used as a module because I am pulling it in as a module here, but I don't even know if that needs to be done that way. There's a lot of really cool things that we can do here. Okay. I'm not using that right now. Now there's probably some things that we're gonna lose in the processing. Like one thing that I can think right off the top of my head that is a bit of an issue is that any of these things are automatically translated. So you're gonna have to do that manually. Meaning like you're gonna have to in here, I think we're gonna have to do like this. We're gonna have to do it this way and handle these Like we have to mark these for translation ourselves, right? So I'm gonna put that back in there. All right, so that is the thing, is one thing that needs to happen. For surezies, you do lose a lot of that stuff. I don't know what dynamic blocks are going to be interesting, because we need a render callback. We need a render callback, and that's typically done in the register block function. But the problem with that is it'll also try to register. It also tries to pull in the editors, the styles, and all of these things as well, all of the assets. And if you don't define an editor script, maybe it's a dummy editor script. Maybe that's what we need to do. Yeah, so there's a couple of things we still need to figure out. Oh my god, I'm yawning, sorry. There's a few things that we still need to figure out. Yes. But this shows that you can definitely do blocks with, you don't need a build process. I'm not using a build process in here at all. It means I have to offload all of my things. Like, I'm not using block.json anymore. That can go away. I'm not using edit or editor or style or view or save anymore. They're all gone. I have a single file that has all of my things in here. But a couple of things, like if you can't import, like what I like to do is I like to have like a components directory, right? Like a file, like another file component, right? .js. And in here I want to export thing, right? Right, like I want to do something like that and then import that, but this I don't think will work. So in here I can't, to my knowledge, go import component from component and then have that be used somewhere. I think it's going to yell at me because I don't have a mapping for that. But so I don't know. Yeah, so there's a console error. So failed to load module, expected to load the JavaScript module script, but the server responded to my type of text HTML. Where's that? So that's something that I don't know. It probably has to be, it would have to be in a module somewhere else, I think, which requires a bit more plumbing, right? Yeah, this is for static blocks right now. This would work for dynamic blocks, but what we have to do is we have to connect the render callback to the block that's being registered. And I think we could probably do it something, we could go like add action, right? We could go init. We would probably have to get into doing this a slightly different way, like why is this thing yelling at me? Okay, so we want to call register block type, and like, so the name of the block we could see we're kind of going against what we want to do. Like there's a few ways of doing this, right? So what we want to do is we're going to call if block type is a string. Did my music just die? Uh-oh. Oh no, it's just a new piece of music. So register block type has gone through about like 3 different iterations. There used to be like, so block type and arg. Okay, so what we can do is we can just make this a string. So if we pass a string here, the name of it, and then our args, we can get around needing to have a we can get around having to have a block JSON file. Like we don't necessarily always want that. So I'm going to put this in there, and then I'm going to get out of here. So I think this is going to work. And then in here we want an array of all our args, and then we're going to have render callback. Right, I think, and this is going to be a function. And it's going to do this echo hi there. Spell it right. I think this might be how we can do it. Why is this thing yelling at me? Because it needs a comma. I think that's what's going to happen. So if I come over here now, add action, unexpected identifier action, and then 43. Basic PHP errors for the win. There we go. Okay, so that will work. That does work. That does work. That does work. Yes, thank you. Yes. Okay, so that will work. So that will connect these dots. What I just want to do is I want to grab like one of my little source of my render PHP. We just want to do basically something like this. So in here in this function, I'm just gonna come out of PHP because I'm lazy. All right, we do this. Oh, Crouchy, thanks for the follow. There, Crouchy. Close the div. Yep, close the div. And then we say hi there. So this is a way of doing it. Right, so now we should have hot. What happened there? Don't save. Index. I need to import that. Did I import that? Am I still importing? I'm still importing that. It's weird that it's there. I don't know why that's there. It shouldn't be that. I shouldn't be doing that. No, not it's like, come on. Oh, I think it's past attributes. Yeah, get past attributes. So if I bar dump attributes in here, I should hopefully see something from this block. I just don't know if they're connected at this point. That's my thing. I don't know if they're connected. Right. So there's no attributes there. Do I have to set the attributes in here as well? I haven't done this forever. Is it an array? It must be an array. It must be message. It's going to also be an array, and it's going to be type. Man, I haven't done this in a while. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Render callback. Okay, so it's exactly the same thing. I think that's I need. Okay, so this is going to be message. Oh, and then okay, and then in here though, this is no longer going to be that. This is going to be this. Right, because it's not tied to any markup, so it's just going to be type of string, and then I'll set a default value of no build. Oh, I said it like that, but I did. Deal with it. That's not. Get out of there. Okay. So this is going to be type. Is going to be string. A lot of duplication going on here already. Default is no build. What do I call it in here? Yeah, that. Okay. Get rid of this. Okay, so back over here. String is no build. Oh. Need to get rid of this. It's fired up. Try that again. Temp block recovery, no build. Okay, so let's try this. We'll update this. Why am I getting invalid JSON responses? What is the deuce and deuce here? Network. Okay, sure. Yeah, clear that update. This is not a valid JSON response. Oh, it doesn't echo. It needs to return. My bad. My bad. Okay. So I need to... no, that should work. This should be fine. Okay, it's working. I don't know why this isn't this get wrap. Do I need the blah da 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 da? What am I doing here? Output there. Why is it way up there? Why the hell is it way up there? It's not getting any of the other stuff it needs. It should be getting all kinds of other stuff and it's not. Do I have any old examples of render callback in here? So, oh, yeah, this is why I'm stupid. Stand by. I need to be doing it. I haven't done this in so long that I forget how to do it. So that's what I need to do, and this is what I need to do. So I do not echo, I return, and that's why those things aren't working. Okay, there we go. So what I was doing is this was running and this was echoing, and I don't think, and this wasn't getting what it needed. So I think now if I refresh this, there we go. The issue was it didn't have any of the stuff in there. So like the extra classes that is generated by WordPress for us, like if you're looking here, like it just doesn't get put where it needs to go. It's not wrapped inside of, like, you know, all this content stuff and everything. It's just all kinds of wrong. All kinds of wrong. So anyway, now let's see if I don't do this, it still seems to work. But let's delete. I'm going to delete this block, and I'm going to put this block back in. HTML no build for reals. Okay, so we're gonna do this and update that. I come over here, refresh this. No build for reals. Okay, so I don't even think I need to define these attributes on the server side. I think all I need to do now is in here. Now, what's really funny is that I haven't changed my save. So that's because if there's a render callback, it'll override this save. But just for what we want to do, we want our save to return null. We don't want it to do anything. We just want to do that, and that should, because that's just how you work with static blocks. And then you shouldn't get any weird, like, see this is strange because it returned something from its save, but now it doesn't, so it doesn't know what to do with it, right? So what we want to do is just say attempt block recovery, and then we're now fine. So this is actually something that's stored not in the markup anywhere. It's stored as a block attribute. If we look at the code editor, you can see there's the message and the class name. But it's strange that that's in there. I wonder why that's in there. Anyway, yeah. So I think so. We've done it. We have done it. There's a lot of setup. If we can make the setup easier, I think this is a valid way of approaching a block that doesn't require a build process. Because everything I've done in here is all just straight up source, right? Delete. There is a bunch of work that we have to do though to make that a thing. Specifically this stuff. I'm gonna just simplify this in queue block module. If I can type correctly, there's gonna be a function. It's gonna basically be this. Then in here, I'm just gonna say queue block module. I'll do the same thing for here, and that should just simplify that a little bit. Hack to get our module loaded. Yeah. And that should just work. And then this is how we're doing our render callback for a dynamic block. So let's see. Let's make sure this still works. Seems to still work. And I think as long as we just kind of spend a bit of time looking at the index here and how we're going to build this stuff up, like this file is going to get massive. There's no way around it. It's going to get huge, especially when you're building something anything more complicated than what we've just built here today. It's gonna get massive, like, you know, adding inspector controls and things like that. So I don't know. It'd be nice to be able to still abstract away this stuff, but this is something that we don't need JSX. But I don't know if the trade-off is worth it. And maybe I just don't know what I'm doing. There's a very good possibility that this is not the right way of doing it. I know that the interactivity API is enqueuing script script modules, and I just couldn't get it working. So I just need to maybe ask around for a better way of doing it. But and this is a bit. So the issue is not about like getting away from a build process and not using JSX. The issue is more like how do we make that work within the framework of how we both build and enqueue and load blocks, right? So we there's some things that we have to kind of figure out a little bit. So anyway, it's 12:30. I think I'm gonna say goodbye to y'all. But thanks for hanging out with me today. Appreciate it. I don't know if I missed, actually, did anybody say anything or ask me any stuff in here? No, we're good. Okay, awesome. Anyways, well, I'm going to let y'all go, but thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I'll be back next week. Same time, same bat channel for those of you that remember the original Batman series. And yeah, I'm going to push this code up and maybe get a blueprint in place for it so we can see it working in its entirety. And we'll kind of go from there. But anyways, I will talk to y'all later. Y'all rock. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.